Hello, I'm Wayne Poling, Sunday School Specialist at Lifeway Christian Resources. One of the major areas of your work as Sunday School Director is to lead your Sunday School to focus on those outside of your church building, to try to reach the lost world around you. And that is the area of outreach and evangelism. Bob Mayfield, Director of Sunday School Work for the Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma, has named 5 reasons that he believes you ought to give leadership to outreach and evangelism in your church. One of those reasons is that guests need to be cultivated. You know, often guests are already Christians, but they need somebody to follow up with them, a person that express interest and concern about them. But many of the guests to your church are lost. They need not to just identify with a website or not just to identify with a note, but they need to identify with an individual and to build a relationship. And it's through that relationship can begin the steps of them coming to know Christ as their personal Savior. Number 2 is that organized outreach elevates evangelism. As your Sunday school gives priority to outreach and builds outreach, it will also be giving a priority to evangelism. By organizing your outreach, you organize your Sunday school to be involved in the lives of other people and to share their faith with them. The third point that Bob makes is that it helps connect members to the lost world around them. The Baptist General Convention of Oklahoma is encouraging churches to be involved in the Reconnect Sunday School strategy. You know, and in that Reconnect Sunday School strategy, the very first connector of that strategy is to connect people to Jesus. And your Sunday school engaged in organized outreach is one of the very best ways to see that happen. The fourth reason Bob cites is that the Sunday school is the church organized to carry out its mission. You know, I like to think of the Sunday school as the church saying, we're going to take the Great Commission and divide it up and assign responsibilities to individual groups. And so every part of your Sunday school says, I'll take that part of the Great Commission and I'll be responsible for it. The young adult group says, we'll be responsible for reaching young adults. Those that work with students say, we'll be responsible for seeking to reach students and their families. The Sunday school is the church organized so that everybody is somebody's responsibility. And by building a strong outreach evangelism ministry through your Sunday school, then you're better able to accomplish that strategy. And number 5, using the Sunday school puts the effort for outreach and evangelism into the hands of laity and not just your church staff. You know, if the church is going to be the church on mission, it has to be the mission of the members of the church, the laity, and not just depend on the church staff. An organized outreach helps that to happen. It provides a place for your members to plug in as you engage them in sharing their faith and reaching out. Here are 6 things that you can do as a Sunday school director to involve your church in organized outreach and evangelism. 1, make outreach and evangelism a priority for your Sunday school. Lead your Sunday school classes to focus outward, to reach out to those that are lost and not just to focus inward, or not just to be concerned about those that are present on Sunday morning, but those out there that need to be reached. Number 2, build an outreach organization. In its simplest form, that means that you will have a person responsible for giving leadership to outreach in every Bible study group. In adult and in student groups, that means that there'll be one individual in that group that says, I will take responsibility to lead our group to do outreach, to help our group get in contact with prospects, to help our group reach out beyond our Sunday school walls, and to make sure that we're involved in reaching out beyond our class. You'll want to provide training for those outreach leaders. You know, one of the key things that you want to do is to make sure they understand how they can best give leadership to outreach. So you'll want to train those leaders effectively. Provide them with the tools and the knowledge on how they can lead their class to be involved in outreach. Number 3, determine a definite strategy for doing organized outreach. It may be that you want to set aside a specific night for doing outreach. That still works, and I encourage you, if you can have a specific time, it will elevate and give visibility to outreach. But if you can't have a specific night, work with each of your Sunday school groups to encourage them to develop their own strategy. How are they going to make sure that every person is visited, every prospect, that they're visiting those that are unreached? Encourage them to set a time that they are going to go out as a group and to visit prospects they have for their group. Number 4, you need to have a definite process by which they will get the names of prospects, where they will follow up on prospects and where they'll report on prospects. That means if you have a visitor to your church, there's a definite process to get those names into the hands of the group that would be responsible for them. You'll also want to have a definite process by which they can report their visits so that you'll have a way to be able to see, are these prospects being contacted? You'll be able to make assignments. The exciting thing that happens is if a class feels responsibility for a certain part of the Great Commission, young adults, and they feel on mission for that part of the Great Commission, then they want to be supplied with those names, but not just to wait on those names. They're going to be seeking to discover people themselves, and they're going to be reaching out to those people. Then number 5, you'll want to have definite training. Simply enlisting your outreach leadership and assuming they'll do their role effectively doesn't work. You'll want to make sure that you train them thoroughly, that you build a strong outreach core and outreach leadership. The second thing you'll want to do is you'll want to train your members on how to share their faith. If you want to be an evangelistic Sunday school, train your Sunday school members on how to share their faith with other people. Number 6 is to monitor outreach evangelism involvement. If you want to maintain strong outreach evangelism, you need to know what is taking place. And I encourage you to monitor, to observe, to watch how each Sunday school group is being involved in outreach evangelism. Come along and coach them, encourage them, help them, keep in contact with them, and help them build strong outreach evangelism. This is important. This is kingdom work with eternal consequences. So I encourage you to build a strong outreach evangelism program at your church.